My name is Mike Anderson, and I'm an instructor with the CLIMB program, and I teach staff management solutions. I have a master's degree in public administration and public health, and I've been in the healthcare field for 30 years. I've also done management at all levels of organizations, from department management, clinic management, project management, and contract management. So I've had a variety of experiences in different management fields within the healthcare setting. Staff Management Solutions is a program that is designed to help teach managers to better and more effectively interact with their staff and manage their staff over time. It is designed to give tools and experiences to the student that will help them in their day-to-day work. It is my hope as an instructor in this program for them to get a couple of things out of the class. First of all, to teach them the essentials of getting to know your staff. That is one of the clearest and most important aspects of being a manager, is knowing your staff. Secondly, what I like the students to know is how to do evaluations of their staff so that staff know exactly where they stand at all times while they're working. It is really important that managers on a day-to-day basis give feedback to their staff about their performance, about how they're doing their job, how they're interacting with patients, how they're interacting with physicians. One of the banes of the manager's existence is performance evaluations. I have some very specific tools and concepts that I'd like to present to the students that will help them deal with performance evaluations, so that it's not something so it's more meaningful to them and it's more meaningful to the staff, and they get the results that they hope to achieve from that, both for the staff and for the manager. I hope to have you be able to be in a position where you can actually demonstrate that you've learned from the class to your manager and to your staff. You'll actually see results in a relatively short period of time. You'll see some results in both the staff, the way they interact with you, and you also have an interaction with your boss about what you've learned from the class, and they should see the results of that as well. In addition to that, I hope to bring to the table some of my own experiences and own learnings and new material that is sort of cutting edge, that will give them some new thoughts and new perspectives on the way in which they manage. Well, as a student and as a manager coming into this class, what I would hope you would know prior to coming into the class are basically what it is that you have the most difficulty with in terms of managing staff. What are the challenges that you face? What are the issues that you face on a day-to-day basis? What drives you crazy as a manager? And what can I do as a manager to help you get through some of those issues? Well, what I hope that you'll enjoy the most about this class is, one, learning some new techniques, getting a little bit of information about me as a manager and some of the experiences that I've had. There are thousands and thousands of books written about management, and you can go to any of them and learn about management. What I bring to the table, I think, is personal experience and background, working directly in multiple of management settings. And I hope to make that fun for you. I have lots of readings and lots of demonstrations, and hope to have an interactive process with the students, because interactive process is really a way of reinforcing learning process. I think probably the biggest thing you'll find challenging about this course is how do you relate what you're learning to the day-to-day basis. Because as everybody knows, what goes on in the field isn't what goes on in the classroom. And one of the things that you'll need to be prepared for is being able to be able to share some of the things that trouble you the most about your management style, and some of the problems rather that you have as a manager in your own environment. Now, that's sometimes difficult for students to do in a class setting, but if you're able to do that, you'll be able to learn a lot more, because everybody comes to the group with their own set of problems and expectations, and sharing those problems and learning from other people's experiences will really help you gain as a manager. And I've done a lot of research and a lot of training to be able to help guide the discussion in ways in which that you might not otherwise have. What I'm trying to do in this class is provide an environment for the student to both participate with other managers, have an interactive learning session in which everybody shares ideas about the way in which the types of problems that they have and the types of issues that they have. Allowing them to explore with other people what happens in their own situation, and then act as a conduit through my own experiences to explore other options that might help them improve their work environment and the approach that they take to managing staff on a day-to-day basis. I have a lot of different techniques that I have, a lot of articles that I have, and I hope to bring those to the table to the students for them to learn. But I think the biggest part of the learning experience is the interaction of the students with each other and the instructor, and being able to share back and forth, so that that's part of the learning process. I think one of the biggest things that you'll be surprised about this class is the format in which it's taught. And it's not a lecture type format. It's presented in a way in which it's broken up into small groups or individual groups, so they have a chance to interact and learn from each other. And then I come along and try to codify what those issues are and present them in a different way and present new material at the same time. There will be a certain amount of learning, reading material and assignments to do, but most of what goes on in the classroom is really the experience part of it. It's just not a typical kind of learning experience where I would get up and lecture to somebody for, a couple of hours, but you would have to do the work. Well, there's lots and lots of management classes presented at lots of different institutions. The advantage for Climb is cost effectiveness, number one, but more importantly, the whole program is really geared to the healthcare setting. The students will gain the most from this class because the rest of the students are all healthcare professionals. And my experiences are directly related to healthcare profession. I spent all my life in healthcare. I know it inside out and backwards. And those experiences give a richness to the program that they might not experience at another institution, where it's teaching management per se. It's not just teaching management for healthcare.